How's it going? Ah. I'm on my phone again. I don't even want to talk about it. I was trying to download um some streaming software and everything. Wasn't working. On my new laptop, was not working. Anyways, a little frustrated with that, but it is what it is. We'll figure it out. I'm also a little bit stressed because we move in a week. So it's probably not a good time for me to start anything new. Anyway, welcome to the live show. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope everybody's week is going well so far. I put a poll out what you guys wanted to talk about this week, and y'all picked a Q&A. It was pretty close, 35%, but that's what we're going to do today. So you guys can ask me any questions that you'd like. We can talk about whatever topics you'd like. Of course, within reason, of course, respect to those in my private life, etc. Hey, Chris. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a member. Hey, Falco, welcome to membership. Appreciate it. Thank you. Me. Thank you for joining. Make sure you guys send through all your questions on the chat. Make sure you like the stream. Share it if you can. That would be great. Subscribe if you can. If you are already a subscriber, thank you. And if you are a subscriber and you have the means, please consider becoming a member by hitting that join button below. It is $4.99 a month, £4.99 a month. And we appreciate the donation, but also please remember that £1 of every membership fee also gets donated to the Royal British Legion. And for the month of July, we're matching a dollar. We are matching every membership donation. We are matching as well. We did just make our first membership donation last week. It was £36, which is humble, but a good beginning, a good start, very good foundation. And so I hope to I'm going to put an announcement out to everybody as well so they know. Full disclosure and transparency. I'm not going to do anything with your money that you guys aren't going to be aware of. But hopefully we can build on that and do even more this month. Fingers crossed. And I have nothing but faith. But of course, only do it if you can. If you can't, I totally understand. There's other ways to support the channel. You can hit the thanks button under your favorite video. You can hit some super chats if you want while we're chatting away here in the live stream. Or if you don't have any extra cash on your hand, totally understand. Hit the like button, share it, make sure you keep watching videos, interact with the community, leave comments and interact with each other there. All that stuff helps. So anything that you can do, I greatly appreciate. And of course, I very much appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. So let's get started. It's a little humid in here today. Whew. I was walking home and I was so worried I was going to get caught in the rain because it's been raining all day. Luckily, I did not, but I was sweating so bad. It was so hot. It was really, really humid on the way home. And I took my sweater off and it fell right into a big pile of mud. It's got all mud down the side of it and everything. I was like, oh, it's just annoying. I had just finished the laundry. Anyways. Hi, Danny. Nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. How am I managing with my new laptop? That's our first question from Chris Warsaw, one of our members. Honestly, I'm figuring it out. I've never had a MacBook before. I treated myself because my current laptop is so shitty and I've been struggling with it for so many years. And I was able to get it on a payment plan, or else I probably wouldn't be able to afford it. Um, but it's good. It's really good. It's really pretty and it's easy to use for the most part. But it's like got weird features as opposed to like the Windows based stuff that I'm used to and the Chromebook that I'm used to. Whereas most of the X's to close out screens, for example, simple stuff like that, where the X's are all on the right to close out screens and everything I've ever worked in before. And in MacBook, for some reason, it's on the left. And so it's just like those types of minor habits I'm working through. Um, but it runs so much faster. The picture quality is so much better. It's so much easier to get things done and all of that kind of stuff. The editing is much easier as well. Very much looking forward to that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, uh, it'll make my life a lot easier. I'll be able to get more content out to you guys, and we'll be able to do a lot more fun stuff and a lot more interactive stuff because the system will be running a lot better. Thank you for asking. I'm really, really excited. I saved up a lot of money and I really spent a lot of time researching and stuff to try to get a good product. So hopefully it'll work out the way I hope, the way I imagine it will. I don't know about rather getting wet than muddy because the thing is about, I mean, I was on my way home, so getting wet is fine because I can just change as soon as I get home. The thing about getting wet is if you like, I've gotten caught in the rain on my way to work, and that's annoying because then I don't really have a place to dry off. I can't change, and it's freezing cold in my office because we are a produce packer, and it's all frozen in the warehouse. So anytime that door opens, it's like minus 20 degrees in there. So I get a big, and I sit right near the door, so I always get a big draft as soon as the door is open. So it's a little bit annoying, especially if you get caught in the rain. But in this particular instance, I was fine with it because it was my sweater. I had it off already, and I just threw it in the laundry when I got home. But it is kind of annoying. Clive Newman, hi, welcome. I know you leave a lot of comments. Thank you for interacting with us. Would I move back to the US or is the UK now my home? I don't plan on moving back to the US for the foreseeable future. The move was planned to be a permanent move. But it's not really up to me for the first 5 years. It's up to uh, the UK government. So I'm actually in the visa renewal process now. So fingers crossed that they'll let me stay past my visa expiration, which I'm thinking is probably going to be all right. I was a little bit nervous, with this election because there's a lot of people that were advocating for very, very strict controls on immigration. And of course, that is very personal to me because of my situation. So that's annoying. That was a little bit annoying only because it was, a little bit stressful time. But it looks like that part of the stress is going to be going away. And hopefully, because of my situation, because I have my daughter's a citizen and that's a big deal. Hopefully, that'll help me out. And the fact that I've been here and I've been working and I've been contributing to society and things like that, I think are also in my favor. But it's still nerve wracking as hell. Really, really nerve wracking. So for the foreseeable future, I plan to stay in the UK, especially if things keep going the way they're going in America, because they're not doing well. They're actually worse than they were when I left, which is awful. Chris Warsaw said, "Did you watch footy on Saturday, England game, and did you get wet from the booze?" We did watch it. We actually ended up staying in. We had plans to go and meet some friends out, but my husband had a tooth thing. His face was swollen up, so he didn't want to go out. So we actually stayed in and just watched it as a family, which was kind of fun because we haven't done that at all really since I think my daughter was little. And they ended up pulling it out in the end on penalties, right? Which is like crazy for England, from what I hear. It's insane that they actually won on penalties. So that was kind of fun. That was good. So I didn't get soaked, but it was still fun and enjoyable. Hopefully, the next thing, when are they playing next? Thursday, I think. Um, we probably won't be able to go out either because it's during the week and um, just our schedules are kind of heavy. Plus, we're moving, so we're in the middle of packing and everything. So, but fingers crossed, they'll keep going, and maybe we'll get to see them in a final. Right? Is that what? Right? They play. I don't even remember who they're playing. They play somebody, and then it's the final, right? I think it's France and Spain. I don't know. They have it up the chart up at work, but I don't really look at it to be honest. Hello, Sankar from India. Thank you so much. Lots of love and respect to you. Thank you for joining me from India. What's it like there? What do what's the weather? What's the time? All that stuff. Fill us in. Catch us up. Yes, please press the like buttons if you can. Chris, thank you for the reminder, as always. Hi, Neil Devine. Thanks so much for joining us. Do I wear sleeveless tops? Yes. I feel like there's something else involved in that question, but yeah, if it's hot, hell yeah. France have just scored. Is that good for us? I have no idea. And by us, I mean England, because obviously the US is not in the Euros. Uh, is that good? And they played I thought they were supposed to play at the same time to avoid cheating. Am I misunderstanding that? I don't know. I could have sworn somebody said that to me once. Maybe that's like a specific uh, area or a specific time or portion of the competition. I'm not sure. The Netherlands, yeah, I like Holland, so that's gonna be rough. I actually really like watching Holland play. I don't know why, but it's very like, their style is very rhythmic, and because I come from like a music and dance background, I think that it's just really appealing to me. I do like watching them play. Yes, the World Cup is in the US in 2026. And coincidentally, we're planning a trip back in that same year. So I don't know. I don't know. It depends on uh I mean, that would be cool to be able to see the World Cup in the US. I know they were there in what, 94, I think. Um I have no idea. The problem with America having big events like that is that it's so huge that there's like no guarantee that they're going to be playing anywhere near where you are. You know what I mean? And like I remember in 94, it was a really long time ago, obviously, but I remember that there was like games in California, there's games in like Atlanta, in Texas, and then like New York. And so if you were like not in those specific areas, you would never get to see a World Cup game in the US. I don't know. Hopefully the opening ceremony is better. I don't remember the opening ceremony, to be honest. I didn't really watch football back then, so I don't even remember that much of it. You know what? I'll do a reaction to the opening ceremony and put it out there for y'all as bonus content, because I have not seen it, so that would be interesting. And this way I can compare it for 2026. I'm enjoying the Euros though. I'm not keen on US. Falco, it says, I'm not keen on US TV, but I love the show MASH. Wow, that's an interesting one. Are you a military guy, Falco? That might be why. No, MASH is fun though. I've only ever seen a few episodes, but I remember like my grandfather used to watch it all the time. He used to have it on whenever we went to his house. That, Wheel of Fortune, and Jeopardy, he watched all of that. And John Wayne movies. It was always one of those four that was on. Do I like any British TV? Yeah, I like a lot of British TV. Um, my favorite show, my favorite sitcom of all time is Faulty Towers. I think we talked about this in a previous live stream, but I'm obsessed with Faulty Towers. I love it so much. We actually just saw the live show in London as well, which was really good. It was funny. I was a little bit nervous if it was going to be, because when they do things like that, sometimes it could be cheesy and corny and kind of cringy, but it wasn't. It was good. I enjoyed it a lot. And the guy who played the John Cleese character, Basil Fawlty, was really, really good. So loving that. Loving that I got a chance to do that. Let's see, what other things do I like? I really liked The Office, the English version of The Office. I actually watched that one, and I didn't watch the American version. I really like Little Britain. I really liked Afterlife, though it made me cry a lot. I don't really like a lot of your what do they call them? Soap operas, like what's it called? EastEnders. I didn't really get into it. There's a couple of them where I was like, I think another one's Coronation Street. Is that another one? I don't know. I didn't really get into them that much. I like your comedy. British comedy is fantastic, and I will always watch a British comedy. Oh, you guys, one of you guys, it might have been you, Chris, introduced me to Dad's Army, which is an older sitcom, right, from the 50s or 60s, and it's hilarious. Love it. Rock Raju says, what is your opinion about India? Is India truly progressing towards becoming a superpower? Additionally, India has a diverse range of languages, cultures, and millions of different types of food. Yes, I've heard some things about it, but I don't know India and I have not been there. So I don't really have an opinion of it in that aspect. Um, I think there's definitely potential of becoming a superpower, but there's a lot of poverty there from what I know, and it is very limited, the knowledge that I have. But I don't see why it couldn't become a superpower, but I don't know that much about it, and I don't really have that kind of background to make that prediction. But why not? I have heard that it's got. I didn't know about the languages, but I know the culture is very diverse, and there's tons and tons to see and experience, and the food is to die for. Not a huge curry fan though, so I don't know how I would do there, but I definitely would love to visit there. Um, I would be very, very interested in visiting there. I think it's a new place. I like some of the Bollywood stuff. I haven't seen a full movie, but I've seen a ton of clips, and I really like that, like vibrant, um, um, the vibrant colors and the costumes, and I really love the music as well. So um, it always makes me feel good. So I hope that if I when I get to visit there, that it makes me feel the same. Yes, you are an RAF veteran. That's what I thought, Falco. I could have sworn that we had talked about that. I know I'm not supposed to do this, but thank you for your service. Please not Corey, Chris said. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Dad's Army. That's right, you have him on DVD. That's right. Love Dad's Army. It's really, really funny. It's really funny. Especially for the time. It's just it makes me it's one of the, it actually makes me laugh out loud, which I was a little bit nervous because sometimes when you watch things from decades ago or from a different time period, you're kind of like, oh, that doesn't really land anymore and it's not really funny anymore. Like I find that with Friends, right? I watched Friends as a young adult a lot, and it's one of my favorite sitcoms of all time as well. But I've watched it recently, and I'm like, it doesn't really work now. But it might just be that I'm a little bit jaded from America at this moment. So we'll see. I'll try it again in another year or so and see how it goes when I'm a little bit less worried and stressed about the future of my family that's still there. India now has the biggest population in the world. I didn't know that, but that does not surprise me at all. I worked on Bollywood James Bond in London. Chris, you are so interesting. You've done so much. Uh, that's a really, really interesting statement. What did you do some of the music? That would be my guess, because I know you have a musical background as well. I'm curious about that though. This is 21 of you are watching, so hit that like button for me. Appreciate it. Send in your questions, and we'll go through them all. Hit that super chat if you like, but make sure you hit that like button and share the stream. Let everyone know we're live. If you have friends and family or anyone in your life that you think might find this interesting, let me know. Motivation Hub 221 says, "How old are you?" I'm happy to answer that, but I'm curious, how old do you think I am? Chris Warsaw, Korea's Coronation Street. Wife watches it. It does my ear in. Okay. Yeah, I don't really get into it that much. But a lot of people like it, and it does translate. There's a lot of people in America that watch those as well. I'm not really sure why. Honestly, I don't find them interesting. Hello, John Boy 88. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. I was doing security and medical for Bollywood. How? Wow, Chris. Awesome. Was that in India? Were you in India, or was that here? Were they shooting here? I assume they were shooting in India. I don't know. Wife records it as well. Well, yeah, she can't miss anything. If she missed something that happens on Coronation Street, then she's gonna be all behind next time and everything. Who is Hollywood James Bond? It's a good question. Johnny Boy says, could be worse, could end up sitting on the TV watching the couch. Okay. Spain have just equalized. Okay. Do we want Spain or France to win from an English perspective? Catch me up, guys. Let me know what I'm supposed to do. Who I'm supposed to root for, not root for to lose. We want to root for Spain. Is that what we want? Because they're an easier team to beat. Is that why? I'm still learning. Please. Oh, thanks for the hearts. England's not winning the Euro. I heard it's coming home. I don't know, but that's what I've heard. Look, I'm an underdog person, so I'm always going to root for the team that I want to win until they're out, and then I'm going to root for if I don't have a dog in a fight, which I kind of do have a dog in a fight in this one. If I don't have a dog in a fight, then I'll just root for the underdogs, because that's I always like to see the surprise ending. We always want France to lose because we're English. What is the big deal about that? Is that just because of the long history of fighting France, like as a superpower in Europe, that y'all hate each other? Or is it just that, is there something else that I'm missing? Because Americans don't like France too, but it's a completely ridiculous reason that has to do with 9/11. So that song comes on every tournament. What? It's Coming Home? That one? Every time it's coming home, but it never does. Fair enough, Motivation Hub. Mike Wazowski, thank you very much for joining us. Love your handle. Monsters Inc., one of my favorite movies of all time. Love it. Anyone but England. Ooh. Interesting. Are you not in England? Hi, TJ. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you joining us. Screw England. Woof. Mike Wazowski is not an England fan. Ouch. Look, you got to keep the hope alive. See, that's the thing about it, right? Is you got to keep the hope alive. You got to keep going. That's why you still watch it. You still root for England, even though they're in penalties, and the chances are they're probably going to lose because one time it might actually not happen, and it didn't happen, right? Last time they won, so you never know. France is a nice country, just that the French people are. Mike Wazowski says something similar, saying, joking, I loved France, just not the French. TJ, French helped with independence. I know. We have a really long American, I'm speaking as an American, obviously, but just making sure that's clarified that I'm not speaking on England's behalf in any way here. We are very aware as Americans that French helped us win the war. It was sort of a proxy war for both sides, the French and the British, and we could not have won it without France by any means. So I personally never understood why we have such a tension with France. I can understand why France doesn't like America because they gave us all this resources and helped us win this war and win our independence. And then it was time for us to help them. We told them, nah, we're good. So I could understand them being pissed off at us, but I never understood why America was pissed off at France. And I know in recent history, from 9/11, they didn't agree with our invasion of Iraq, which was the right position. And so they wouldn't let us fly over their airspace. So Americans got into a tizzy about it. Um, but other than that, I don't really understand it. France is, I mean, we've driven to France from England, and the countryside's gorgeous. Paris is great. And I've never had any issue with any of the French people. But to be fair, I was only there for a day. But I don't understand. Um, Motivation says it hasn't come home since 1962. Is that just the Euros, or is that including like World Cup and all like international competitions? Curiosity, just curious. Yes, please smash the likes. Thank you. Uva Sharma, hi from India. Thank you. Um, Own goal. Spain is leading. Oh, I should probably have it on in the background. Huh? I didn't even know they were playing, to be honest. You won the World Cup in '66. Oh, so then you're definitely not talking about the World Cup then. Hmm. Oh, okay. Motivation. Is that what you were talking about? Is that the last international competition that y'all won? The World Cup, which is not, which is nothing to shy down, to bow down from. It's amazing. Um, you're an average soccer fan or a casual watcher? Soccer trophies for England. Yeah, it's not soccer here. It's football. I don't know. Uh, I don't know what it's called in India, but they won it, the Cricket World Cup in 2024. I love the T-shirt. I don't know what you mean. It's so far back. It happens. It happens. No worries. America's never won any of it, so we've won the World Series a couple times. Does that count? Okay, tell me about this soccer saga because there have been so many people who have come to me and said it's actually called soccer because it's the Association of Soccer or something like that. And then there are so many people who've been like, no, 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 do not call it soccer. And this is the problem. One of the problems with being an expat is you get bombarded with 1,000 different opinions and people telling you 1,000 different things. And even if you do your research and stuff, you feel like you're confident with it. There's always somebody with a different story or a different point of view. It's really, it's very uncomfortable. I don't know what you just said there, motivation, but go for it. Not to sound weird, but you look nearly identical to my mom. Okay. She must be gorgeous. Obviously. That is a little bit of a weird statement, bro. Just saying. Clive says we're the only country to be world champions at football, cricket, and rugby. I'd say that's a pretty good point of pride, in my opinion. How do you view the English spoken by Indians, given its early language and each person's pronunciation in India, but their pronunciation differs from yours? Um, I can only go on Indian people that I've met in America. And I grew up in New Jersey, which has a very concentrated Indian population, an Indian immigrant population. And I mean, everyone that I've spoken to speaks very good English. So pronunciations are different with every region, every language. I mean, I literally pronounce things differently than my daughter, who I taught how to speak because she grew up primarily in Philadelphia and I grew up in New Jersey. So we even have different pronunciations of things and we're in the same family. So I'm just used to it. America's like that. We have different pronunciations for different regions and it's pretty constant because it's so big. So most of the I've never met anybody that really spoke bad English because I think that's a subjective thing anyway. Just but I'm sure like if I tried to speak Indian or French or when I try to speak Spanish, which I'm really bad at, it's I'm sure people are like, oh, I just try to do the pleases and thank yous and excuse me's and where's the toilet, things like that, because I know I'm not going to be fluent. Motivation. Even England actually termed the coin soccer the originator of football, but football makes more sense because you kick the ball with your foot. I agree. I always thought it was weird that we called soccer soccer and we use our feet, and then we call football American football football when we use our hands primarily. I don't get it. Um, why does the USA say with all their sports the world history, but they're World Series, excuse me, but they are the only ones in it? Because we're the center of the world, obviously. I mean, doesn't everybody else in the universe revolve around us? I mean, I find that a very strange question as an American. Probably because we're the only ones that play it. So we feel like we have a monopoly. Probably a more reasonable explanation. Um, Muhangi Filiman says, "Are you a fan of medieval stories? If so, which is your favorite?" Um, I like time period pieces anyway, because I like learning about just history and I'm a little bit of like a political and sociology nerd. I like um, people like watching uh, period pieces because I like the history and the politics that happens, but I also like uh, just how like psychology and sociology of how people interact and why they do what they do and things like that. So I like a lot of period pieces. Medieval's cool. I'm more of a Victorian fan, to be fair, but I don't know if I have a favorite story. I don't know if I have a favorite story. If I think of one, I'll come back to you though. Rob Rowe, she got Riz. Oh, I feel like you're setting me up for something, but thank you. I'm going to take it as a compliment. We'll go from there. TJ says Rugger is rugby football, and a soccer is association football. The latter term was further shortened to soccer. So where was the transition? Like, where is the transition to um, football then? No, it is a weird statement, but I had to say something since the similarities are uncanny. Fair enough, fair enough. Like I said, she must be absolutely gorgeous, obviously, as I hear in my ponytail, my glasses, and my oversized sweatshirt. The World Series is so called because in its infancy, it was sponsored by a newspaper called The World. Is that true? I never knew that. That's a really interesting background. Thank you. Muhangi, is it Muhangi? Muhangi says, have you been to Boston, Massachusetts? I have, and I've been there twice. I love Boston. It's beautiful. It's lots of history there, but it's just a really beautiful city. It's a lot of fun. Always have a good time there. And of course, their seafood, fucking amazing. More like a North America series, Motivation says. Yeah, kind of, though we're getting a lot of Asian players lately in baseball. It's become really, really big in Japan and some of the other Asian countries. So that's kind of cool. We're expanding. We have Canada, which is North American, like you said. We have some South American players as well. So could be an American sport with some Asian influence. Kind of worldly, maybe. England is the center of the world. The fact, the meridian line. Okay. Okay. Maybe. Plus, you have probably a much longer history of being the actual center of the world, being that you owned most of it for a much longer period of time. Oh my God, majoring in sociology and psychology. Mike Wazowski. I was so interested in that kind of stuff. I'm so interested in learning in like what makes people make the decisions they make and what makes them tick. It drives my family crazy because I will be the person that sits in a movie theater and I'll be so interested in what I'll like defend like the villains. They'll be like, but you don't understand. They went through this and they went through that and did it like, and they'll just be like, why don't you just just watch it, just watch it and enjoy it. And I'm always like trying to analyze it and break it down. I just can't help it. Greenwich is the center of the world, England. Greenwich is in Norway. Isn't that the? Let's see. I don't know because there's like a Greenwich in New York and probably lots of other places in America. So I'm just gonna let you guys battle that one out. I loved my stay in Boston. Clive, yeah, I don't blame you. It is a really, really beautiful city. What was your favorite part? I'm curious. My favorite part was the fact that I was supposed to go to a Red Sox game and I didn't because I hate the Red Sox because I'm a Yankees fan. So I didn't have to go to Fenway. I was very, very happy about that. No, my favorite part was my favorite part was probably I forgot the name of the house, but there was a one of oh no. I just remembered. My favorite part was reenacting the Tea Party, which I know is going to offend people, but I don't care. So there's this place that they do reenact the Boston Tea Party, and they hand you like characters, and you participate in like the discussion ahead of time, and that what you're going to do, and then you go on the boat and you get a tour of the boat, and you actually get to throw like a case of tea overboard and stuff, and then they have a tea room afterwards where you can have like proper tea and everything. That was one of my favorite things to do, just because it was interactive. And also, I happened to get a card. The character that I got to play happened to be someone, a descendant of my family. My native was the same as my maiden name. It was a descendant of my family, which didn't know that they were part of that. So it was really really cool. Like, so that was my favorite part, to be fair. But again, that was really really personal. I'm curious. Did you get to do anything like that? Did you do any of the history stuff? Did you like any of that, or as an English person? I'm sorry, I assumed you're English. I'm not sure if you are. But do you have a problem with that if you did? If you are English, if not, then please correct me. British fans ended up choosing to call the sport football in the 80s due to Americans choosing the word soccer. I have no idea if that's the real reason or not, but that is amazing and I love it. Oh, sorry, YouTube failed to tell me you're live. I know I don't get a lot of notifications either, Sam. It's something with YouTube because I've had issues with wanting to watch people live and not getting the notifications myself. But I appreciate you joining us now. I always do. Thank you very much. Has anyone done much meditation? Be free with me asks. I've done some meditation. I meditate a bit actually. I don't do it traditionally. I usually just kind of sit with my eyes closed with my thoughts, that kind of meditation. Nothing like formal, but I do it. Mandy, have you seen probably the best comedy show in England, Only Fools and Horses? Yes. And I know I'm going to lose a lot of followers, but I don't like it. I actually don't like it so much that it's in my wedding vows that I never have to watch it again. And then a hush fell over the crowd. Thank you so much, Sam. I appreciate you sending that super chat in. Uh, I will definitely buy a cup of coffee with that. Appreciate it. I mean, thank you for sending it in before I said what I said about Only Fools and Horses. It's please, 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 please hit the like button. I really appreciate it. There's lots of people watching and there's not nearly as many likes, but keep sending in all of your super chats, all your questions. This is fun. I really enjoy it. Mike Wazowski says, yeah, that's why we like these types of subjects. Our brains are wired in a different way. I will like watch a movie that's based on a real person or based on real events, and then I will watch every documentary I can find about that person or event for like the next week or so. Because I want to know everything about their psyche and everything about their background and all that stuff. I know, it's crazy, right? Yay! Thank you guys, appreciate it. Just a reminder, as we're in the middle of the chat, if you can and you have the means to consider joining the channel, because we are trying to raise money for the Royal British Legion, which is a veterans organization that helps out not only veterans but their families here in Britain and the rest of the UK. I appreciate that. If you can, we're trying to raise as much money as we can. We raised £36 last month, which is fantastic. And I'd like to try to get more than that if we can this month. But anything that you can do to help would be appreciated. Thank you. Have you heard about the flower Puritans in the city of Boston in Massachusetts? Got its name from a small English town in Lancashire. I have not heard of that, but I'm not surprised. There's so many places, particularly in the Northeast, which is like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, all the way up to Maine, that they're all, you know, rebranded names of places in England and Europe. A lot of the northern upstate New York and places like that were settled by the Dutch. There's a lot more Dutch areas names, but yeah, there's like that's what New Jersey, New York, New Hampshire, um, Virginia. Like they're all named after places or associations with England. So I'm not surprised. We have, we have a Greenwich in New York. We have all kinds of, I mean, I couldn't even think of them off the top of my head, but every time we drive somewhere, I always, in America, we're always running something, and my partner would always say, yeah, that's a town in England. We lived in a town called, we lived near a town, excuse me, called Bristol, which there's a Bristol in England. So Croydon, that was in a town near where we lived as well. So yeah, the prime meridian of the world. Yeah, I just didn't. Is that in London? I don't know, guys. You guys are confusing me, and I feel like you might actually be taking the piss out of me. The house with the purple window. Don't know what you mean, Clive. Sorry. Is that? Are you talking about in Boston? Oh no, I think I remember now. I think I remember what you're talking about. Did you go to Salem when you were in Boston? I'm just curious because of if it translates internationally, if that's like a thing. Because I loved Salem as well, and it's only like a 40-minute drive. Purple and green trolley bus guided tour was brilliant. Yeah, we did a trolley tour as well. It was really, really good. I'm based in Boston doing your doctoral, and how expensive winters are terrible. Yeah, yeah, Boston winters suck, I'm sure. I've not been there in the winter, but I've seen like footage and stuff and talked to people about it. It is not fun. Yeah, I know. I nobody agrees with me about the only fools and horses thing, which is fine, but I don't know. I find it I find Del Boy really annoying, to be fair. Al H, hello. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Yeah, for the most part, it's amazing. But yeah, it's got brutal winters. Do I watch Indian movies? If so, what was the last movie we've seen? Oscar-winning Indian movie? RRR. I have not watched many Indian movies, and to be fair, it's it's not uh, it's not something that I've just had access to that much. I'd have to search them out, and that's part of my issue. Uh, but I feel like I remember I did watch. I don't remember if it's the last one I watched or anything like that, but I remember when I saw Slumdog Millionaire, I really liked that. Is that Indian? Oh, I'm not 100% sure if it's Indian or not. Um, but if you have any suggestions, let me know. Like I said, I've seen a lot of clips, so I'm not really sure what the whole movies are, but I'm always open. Get your toes out. Philip Keith, Schofield. You're a toe guy, huh? Or a toe lady? You like your toes? Good to know. Glad Al H says, glad to have found your channel. Would you recommend traveling to the UK for a toddler and preschool age child? Also, how does it get there during May? Um, yeah, I don't think there's any problem with traveling here with a toddler or preschool child. I think they would enjoy it, especially if you get to go to like a castle or something, because there's a lot of if you coming in May in the spring particularly, there'll be some like shows and stuff that you can see, you can watch them do. They might be able to meet like a night or something like that, and it is fun. I would recommend it. May is rainy though, from my experience, but it's usually rainy here. But May is rainy, so just be prepared for that. I don't know how you feel about that. I do recommend you seeing London if you can, but make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to explore other areas because the rest of England is absolutely gorgeous as well. So don't limit yourself. Definitely see a castle if you can. Thank you. Sam, Sam says, please hit the like but it says butting, but I'm sure you mean button. Or Boris Johnson will turn up with a badly made cup of tea. Or it might be a cup of tea I made, but you should check out this song called Weekend by Betty, who highly recommend. Okay, I'll check it out. Oh yeah, you did mean button, I thought so. Hi from the UK. Hi Nathan UK. Appreciate you coming. Thank you for joining us. There's a lot of places in the 13 original colonies. Yeah, they all have like British names or either like places from England that are renamed in some way, or they're all like Washington Road or Washington School or something like that from our founding fathers. That's just the way we are. Yeah, autocorrect sucks ass. You're right. MIT and Harvard, great schools. Would never be able to get into them or afford them, but they're amazing. Average temperature is 14 degrees or 57 Celsius. 57 Fahrenheit, sorry. Oh my God, I just figured out, and I know this is random and you guys probably don't give a shit, but I'm going to tell you anyway because it was exciting for me. So I'm on my computer at work and I was playing around with the calendar for something, and I realized that I can set the weather to come up on my calendar at work with the weather for my local area, but it will automatically convert it into Fahrenheit for me and not be in Celsius where I have to actually take out my converter and figure it out. And that made me really, really happy. It's the little things when you're in a foreign country, man, that make a huge difference. Ah, GMT. Ah, okay. It is in London. May Jesus Christ and Mary ever Virgin be praised. Okay. R1A, thank you very much for that. I hope I don't offend you, but I am not a religious person, so I may say things that may offend you. Just giving you a heads up. England is the best country in the world. You've settled here. Well, it is now because I've settled here, obviously. Yeah, I know, Sam. It's much more of a hindrance, autocorrect, than it is a helpful tool in most aspects. It's just a way for them to track your what you're searching, what you're typing. Drank in the Real Cheers bar in Boston. Oh my god, I wanted to do that, but it was closed for a private event when we were there. But I got a picture outside with the sign. That's the best I can do. I probably won't ever get back up to Boston, but we'll see. Try to watch international films, mainly historical things. Yeah, I like to watch international films if I can. Um, oh, sorry, I'm trying to differentiate if it's a question for me or if you guys are talking to each other, which I appreciate and love, by the way. So go for it. Please do not feel hindered in any way for that. Give them a glance of hard skin and toes. Really weird. Some people. You know what, Maxwell? To each their own. People like what they like. I am not judging. I am not judgmental at all. I don't want people getting involved in any of my shit. So people like what they like. People make lots of money on OnlyFans doing stuff like that and in other places as well. And I say there's a market for it and you can do it and tap into that market. Why not? You've never been to London, Motivation? Oh, that sucks. If you get a chance to, you should. It's really cool. But yeah, I understand not having a lot of fun. There's like a million places on my list that I want to go, and I can't get there either. I'd like to go to Saragai. Saragai? Is that Saragai? Is that how you say it? It's in Pakistan now. Is it? Do you watch true crime documentaries? Sometimes. I'm not like, I know there's like a true crime kind of trend, and I think it's a podcast, right? I'm not into that much, but I'm just not a huge podcast person. But I do watch true crime. I like crime thrillers and stuff, but not necessarily for the like solving of the crime. I like the controversy and the people involved behind and trying to discover, like for myself, who I think did it. Um, and I can usually figure it out, to be honest. Not to toot my own horn. It's in Afghanistan now, lady. It was deemed the best country in the world in February 1969. Who, England in 1969, right after you won the World Cup? Interesting. New prime minister wants to get rid of Larry the cat. Who the hell's Larry the cat? I don't know who Larry the cat is, guys. Should I? See, sometimes you guys bring up these political things and I have no idea what you're talking about. They're not political things, cultural things. I misspoke. Cultural things, and I don't know what you're talking about. Right after you were born. I love it, TJ. You're amazing. I love it. Have I been to New York? I got married in Manhattan. Oh yeah, I love New York. We've been in New York many times. I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I grew up in New Jersey, in the middle part of New Jersey, so we were in New York a lot. I love Manhattan. I love New York. My daughter loves New York as well, so we go as much as we when we could. We went when we lived there, obviously. We went there as much as we could. She loves New York. I love New York as well. It's just expensive. Larry the cat is at 10 Downing Street. Oh, is it like an actual cat? You know what I found interesting about your elections? This is the most interesting thing I found. So you have a new party that takes control, and then you they appoint the leader, right? They or elect however they elect the leader, vote on the leader, whomever. And then I'm not 100% sure how that all works, but and then they take over right away, like immediately. In America, you have your election in November, but the new person doesn't take office till January. You have that whole like 3-4 months where you're like in limbo. It's so weird, very weird. I found it interesting and I actually like it. Um, but don't get rid of the cat. It's not the cat's problem. Unless it was the other guy, unless it was Sunak's cat, then get rid of him because he's not there anymore, so it shouldn't be there. Abbott and Costello, love it. Marx Brothers, not as familiar, but I've seen a couple clips and they're great. Cheers is good. MASH, in fact, all American comedy as well as British. There's something about like the older sitcoms, the older American sitcoms, and and comedy shows. I think before the '90s that is very very special. There's a few that are really really special. I feel like in American history, and they pushed the envelope a little bit more. They weren't as safe, and I liked that. Liverpool became the greatest city in the world in 1985. Aren't you watching football? Actually, hi, Stephen Bird. Thank you for joining. I'm not because I didn't even know there was a game today because I'm that fucking out of it. But uh, Natick? Do you mean Nantucket? Maybe. I don't know what Natick is. You're tired and sleepy. I'm sorry, motivation. It's probably time to go to bed then. By all means, I think you should if you're that tired. And I appreciate you staying up for us. Yes. Thank you for joining. Do you eat crumpets? I do. Um, I like crumpets when they're very toasted and a little bit of cream cheese. That's how I like my English muffins as well. You guys gonna give me an update on the game since I'm not watching it? Try crumpet with chocolate spread. Do you mean like a Nutella? I'm assuming that's what you mean. BBC One. Did you move there in 1985? I figured TJ. I figured it was something like that. Falco, you are not right. You are not right. But you're a member, so I'm gonna do this. Worcestershire. Oh. Oof. Yes, I'm happy to have a diverse audience as well, Chris. Thank you. Yes says, do you burst laughing hearing British people speak crumpet? Not like everyday speak, but someone always, at least once a week, there's somebody that comes out with a phrase or a saying or something that I've never heard of, and it usually makes me laugh. England's playing tomorrow. I thought they were playing Thursday, but that's fine. I mean, I'm sure I'll be seeing it. It's 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, you should go to bed, motivation. Whew. Dang. Spain are winning over France. England doesn't stand a chance against either. 2-1 at halftime. So you think whoever wins this game, Maxwell, is gonna win the Euro? Sunday. I don't know what you're saying. Yes. Did you say I'm moving soon? Yeah, we move in next week to our new house. So I'm excited about it, but it is a little bit stressful because there's a lot going on. I should have taken this week off or next week off, but I'm not. All right, guys, I'm gonna give it 5 more minutes or so. I'm gonna start wrapping up because we've hit the hour mark. One day I'm gonna have to come up on your stream. EJ? That is for the week. You know, I kind of feel you on that, Stephen, because I always push myself when I'm really tired to the point where I'm like, I can't literally keep my eyes open anymore. And people in my life are always like, why do you push yourself so hard? And I'm like, because at some point I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to have the energy. I'm not going to have the mental capacity, the physical capacity, or something like that. And I don't want to miss out. You know, I want to try to create as much opportunity as I can for myself. So I do that. I work on very little sleep. Do you remember the longest Welsh town in the nation? I remember it. And I spoke to a few people in my private life after that stream, and I don't remember the exact name of it or anything like that. But I remember it, and I talked to them about it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, everyone in England knows that." Y'all could have given me a heads up. I'm just saying. England's not going to win, huh? Yeah, it's the Church of St. Mary of the Pool of the White Hazels near. Yeah, I know you guys tried to make me say it. I'm not going to try again, but nice try, Sam. Go with the fierce wolf whirlpool. Right, Chris, exactly what I was saying. I'll sleep when I'm dead as well. I'll get plenty of that. Yes, you will. Hard to paste into. Oh, this was fun. I liked this little just chatting and not really having a plan and just going with it, which is pretty much what we always end up doing towards the end of the stream anyway, isn't it? For those of you who are here more often, you get it. Oh, thank you, ATL. Appreciate it. Thank you guys all for coming. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out if you haven't already. If you guys have more questions, you want to do this again some other time or next week or something like that, just let me know. Definitely leave some comments and let me know how you thought this went, and if you, especially with a lot of new people, that was cool. And if you have any other questions, you can leave them in the comment section below as well. Make sure that you share this stream. Try to become a subscriber if you aren't already. If you are, thank you. And also just consider hitting that join button to help us raise money for the Royal British Legion. There are details about that in the description box below as well. And if you have any suggestions, comments, concerns, or anything you want to talk to me about privately, feel free to email us at hicksondiaries@gmail.com. I know I'm a little bit behind on them, but I do answer them, and I do answer all the comments as well, which I'm way behind on, but I promise I will get to. Also, follow us on Instagram, Threads, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at Hickson Diaries. Thank you all. Have an amazing week. Appreciate everybody. Thank you. Special thanks to anyone who sent a super chat and is a member. And I will see you all next week. Bye.